Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic. We're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
Hey guys, how you going? Okay, I can't see anything before checkered past. How you going out to lunch? Out to lunch. Did your best friend pass away? I'm so sorry. Checkered past said, Deb. So Deb's in here somewhere. How's your world? How you going, Deb? Alex, how you going? Who else have we got? Got me in there. Yep, we got Deb there. We got Shannon somewhere. Shannon, are you off to a birthday party? Good luck, have fun. Rocksteady, how you going? Simone, how you going? David, how you going? From Texas. Who else have we got in here? Simone, I said hello. And Deb Jones, hi, how you going? And Charles. Okay, let's get into some stuff because we got a lot to get through. A lot. Okay, let's go to the screen. Okay, clown down under. Customer service at Australia Post. I can't confirm it's Australia Post, but doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Now I've got my camera where the light is so I can see. I'm looking at the camera. Yeah, that doesn't look good, does it? That's your postage. There's your packages. There's my packages. There's everyone's packages in Australia. And then Craig Kelly, one of our politicians, who's normally really good. Sorry, I feel like I've got something on my lip. Yeah, it's called lipstick. Craig Kelly, a descent into complete madness. Somebody please tell me he's joking. He can't seriously believe this. Now this is Ricardo Bossi, whatever his name is.
Not everyone knows. Can you just mention about what is allegedly in the...
Oh, I just got told that people don't know about McDonald's.
Some people don't.
Okay. You know the adrenochrome production? Okay, let's go back a couple of steps.
Okay, he says to McDonald's, right, that, you know, there's human in McDonald's. Anyway, Craig Kelly has called it a descent into complete madness. Somebody please tell me he's joking. He can't seriously believe this. And does anyone know if McDonald's, if it's only McDonald's or is it Burger King, Wendy's, Carl's Jr.? And people are look at the ratio, the likes compared to likes. People are calling him out saying, unfortunately, Craig, this is all true. No fan of Bosie, but this is true. Just got to make sure I'm... Okay, just making sure that it wasn't a message telling me my mic's not on or something. Yeah, sorry, Craig, but he's right. 166 likes to I don't know, maybe this is waking people up mainstream. Not 100% sure whether he doesn't know or doesn't believe it, or, you know, or it's pulling it into, because a lot of mainstream people would follow Craig Kelly, so a lot of newly awakened people, so maybe it's a way to introduce that. I'm not sure. Alexandra Marshall said, I'm sick and tired of poverty being used as an excuse for crime and violent behaviour, especially in a nation like Australia, which has such a generous welfare system. Our grandparents and great-grandparents were poor, genuinely poor, especially in the Depression. But they were also proud. Their humanity, morality and personal responsibility within the community were paramount. It is an insult to say poor people must behave in a criminal manner. The people who say this are those who watch mobs smashing in high-end fashion retailers and call it justified. They're not poor, they're vile. They are. It's not being, look, I'm poor and I don't go and take anything that doesn't, but I certainly don't steal from anywhere, actually. I wouldn't never steal from friends, and I would never steal from a shop. Malcolm Roberts said it's time to bring Julian Assange home. Interesting, let's have a listen.
I'm Malcolm Roberts, Federal Senator for Queensland, Australia, with the One Nation Party. Australian politicians of all parties have come to Julian Assange's defence because this has gone on far too long. Julian Assange stands for real journalism and free speech. Julian is a political prisoner and deserves our gratitude for bringing the truth to light. I'm speaking for Assange. It's time to bring Julian home now. I'm Malcolm Roberts, Federal...
Okay, I agree. I do think there's a plan in the US to bring him into court to expose even more eventually. But I do believe he should be released. She shouldn't be being held. It's disgraceful. Prue McSween said disgraceful treatment of generous benefactor Gina Reinhart by Swimming Australia, as reported in Daily Telegraph, who has every right to demand an audit of the millions she's donated to support the sport. In similar lines, isn't it fascinating that many organisations receiving taxpayer funds for Indigenous sport are also opposing a Royal Commission into child abuse and an audit, all very revealing and concerning. And I agree, the Greens and Labor have opposed a Royal Commission into child abuse and an audit, and that would open up the Indigenous abuse, and I think it would introduce even more into the public eye in other areas, if you know what I mean, trafficking, all that sort of stuff. Tim Poole said, if I enter into a contract with a business and they decide later on to implement a change in how we do business, I have a right to end that arrangement. The bank eventually handled it correctly in opting to assist the woman in taking her money out of the bank. You don't get to keep my money because you arbitrarily changed the rules. This was a few years ago, apparently. And Ed Krasenstein says a Wells Fargo bank in Tennessee tried to make a woman wear a mask before they would do business with her. Even the police are called and they back up the bank. Many people on the right are outraged over this. This was a couple of years ago, though, I think. I get it, people hate mask mandates, but this is a corporation serving clients. It's not a government entity. If a business wants clients to wear a mask isn't that their right? Now, this is where Tim Poole has disagreed, and I disagree too. It is communism, mate. This Ed Krasenstein, the Krasenstein brothers, they're just full-on misinformation agents. So, yeah, if I enter into a business and they later decide to change the contract, which they did, then you have a right to stop doing business with them and take all your money out the bank. Okay, Tanya Plibersek, which is one of our politicians here in Australia, thought she'd give Peter Dutton a reminder about what action looks like. She knows we need concrete action to end violence against women and children. That's why they're investing more than $268 million into First Nations women and children's safety. So instead of doing a Royal Commission to find out what's going on, this lady wants to throw even more money at it, which is going to go back in their pockets again. Do you get this? You understand how it works? So instead of actually doing something about it, she wants to throw money at it. $260 million, which will never get there. It'll never get to the Aboriginal people. Okay, I'm so over this, said well, that makes sense, doesn't it? This is why Aboriginal people are no longer allowed to make money off that region. This is exactly how UN DRIP works. This is what 30% voted yes for. See the logic? Taxpayers gave a land council, a corporate Commonwealth entity, $300 million to buy native title land off the Northern Territory. The Land Council is then the proud recipient of millions of dollars in rent and royalties, not the title holders, which are the Aboriginal people, and not the taxpayers who actually paid for it. And that's how it works too. Oh, we're getting a real close look into how all this works. You can't throw money at a problem. It's not going to make it go away. You need an investigation into it. Clown Down Under said a Canadian-Australian man goes on racist rants against the no voters. Volume up. Okay, mate.
So coming from Canada and moving to Australia 7 years ago, my mind was quite blown by...
Come on, Twitter.
Quite blown by kind of the culture here with regards to misogyny, even queer rights. As most of you know, in an earlier post, I shared that when I first moved here, it was still illegal for me to marry the person I love. And now, when I moved here, I witnessed so much racism where I was like, really? This is happening right in front of me? And now with the Australian public voting as a majority to not recognize Indigenous people in the Constitution, my mind, it is such a racist country. So coming from Canada...
Is that the racism he saw? Was people voting no? Oh dear. And as far as I know, gays have been allowed to marry since 2015. Last 8 years here. I don't know how long he's been here, but... And I told them it was a slippery slope. I told a whole TAFE class full of people. And they didn't believe me. They went, no. But I know gay people who are against the being able to get married. So, I don't know. You make up your own mind. Alexandra Marshall said, how do I make moral judgments on a culture? It's pretty simple. I can walk through St Ives, it's a suburb of Sydney, one of the largest Jewish populations in Sydney, late at night as a young woman and feel perfectly safe. But I can't walk through Lakemba, which is another suburb in Sydney, a large Islamic population in Sydney, in the late afternoon without being heckled, followed and intimidated. Late at night, not a bloody chance. Cultures in which women are safe are cultures worth supporting. Now, while I don't, I support the innocent people. I do not want anyone getting hurt from any side, innocent people. But I do believe there's more going on than what we think. And this is true. I cannot deny this because this is true of Sydney, okay? There are certain places that you can't walk through if you're a woman. Even during the day, you will get heckled, you will get jeered at, you will get harassed badly. And that's not the Australia that I grew up in. I don't know about anyone else. But I've got a theory on all this as well. I don't think they've let the best of the best into the country. There are innocent Muslims as well, okay, in this country. But I believe a lot of what they've been importing, as we can see, are fighting age men. And it's been happening in every Western nation. And I think that might be the big scare. That everyone will wake everyone up if they start trying to uprise. And it's also, I've been thinking of, how is Australia going to know that, they really do need guns? You just cannot give it all up to the government and hope for the best. And that would be another way to do it, is to show the people. You have to show the people. Can't tell them, you got to show them. Vega Stars said 18-10-23, Biden visits Israel. Okay, another one, mask. Can you see, or are you too blind to notice? Do you see all this? Wrinkles in the mask. does look kind of really interesting, like more that we've seen. Even the ear looks weird. It might just be the quality of the video, but... Okay, Elijah Schaefer said Citibank fired 25-year-old employee for saying something objectionable. Citibank also pays for their employees to travel for abortions, and they support gender-affirming care for minors. Murder and abuse is only bad when Hitler did it, but when you do it, it's complete company-funded. Sorry. Colin Ruggs said new Citibank has fired 25-year-old banker Nazima Hassanova for publicly supporting Adolf Hitler's decision. Okay. I won't say the rest of it because you know what YouTube's like. While reacting to the Gaza hospital bombing on Instagram, she smiled as she voiced her support for taking out the Jews. I don't support any of this. No wonder why Hitler wanted to get rid of them. Ooh. I don't know if you can read this little bit in the corner here. She said, I don't think I can say that. No wonder why Hitler wanted to get rid of them. I don't agree. I don't agree with all of it. I don't agree with war. Philip, okay, this Philip Wegman, counter-programming ahead of Biden's Oval Office address. Trump says in a lengthy statement that Biden is desperately hoping Americans will forget that it's Biden himself who is responsible for these disasters. And they've been funding both sides. DC said leaked Florida Rep Vern Buchanan, who now refuses to vote for Jim Jordan for Speaker, was partying last night at the White House bowling alley. He's been in DC for 8 terms and is now clearly part of the swamp. He'd rather party with Dems than listen to his voters. Florida deserves better. Wow. And you got this one. Chaya Rychik said, imagine this being this stupid. Seriously? You know what they'll do to you? They'll throw you off a building or they'll just murder you. And what's this fact check? Since 2007, the Gaza Strip has been ruled by Hamas, and sexual activity between men is illegal due to Hamas enforcement of Islamic law. There you go. Currently, the Hamas government punishes all men who are convicted of having engaged in homosexual acts with up to 10 years in prison. Well, they won't throw you off a building, but they'll put you in prison. Might beat you up a little bit too. I don't know. Clown Down Under said, world's worst. Victoria's electric vehicle tax has been ruled invalid by the High Court. Does the Victorian government pay back, and when? See, tax on everything. Victoria's electric vehicle tax, and they've been pushing people to get electric vehicles. Why, so they can pay more tax?
Where I live, we have an EV tax. We are one of the only places in the world where, based on the amount of kilometres you drive per year, the government will send you a tax bill. Their theory is, if other cars have to pay tax at the petrol pump, then EV owners should too. So while other governments roll out a red carpet of incentives for people to make the switch to EVs, the Victorian government, over the last 4 years, has taxed drivers $30 million and was commonly known as having the worst electric vehicle policy in the world. Until today. On October 18th, the High Court of Australia ruled Victoria's levy on electric vehicles unconstitutional. And as a result, the tax will need to be abolished. The question now, though, remains, will the government refund us our money? Where I live, we have an...
Not only that, don't they get taxed from electricity anyway? Goods and services? Interesting, isn't it? Tax on tax on tax. But that's ridiculous, and I wonder if they will pay it back. I think all electric vehicle owners should probably take them to court if they've been paying tax. Candace Owens says, I don't know who needs to hear this today, but it does not make you anti-Semitic to want to stay out of an overseas conflict. Just like it did not make you a Russian puppet to not want to send your hard-earned dollars to Zelensky. Stop the nonsense. And I agree. Because I'm not on any side of this. I don't know what they're fighting. I don't know what's going on there. So I'm not believing a lot of it. Like the hospital that was supposedly bombed, which they found out was fake. Defiant L said why Joe Biden can't do much to ease gas prices by Julia Horowitz on November the 9th, 2021. A week later, or 10 days later, oil prices are finally falling, thank China and Joe Biden. So he can't do anything to ease the prices, but they're going to thank him 10 days later for oil prices falling. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Why did I click on there? Okay, let's go up. Okay, Rad said, we aren't the cookers, which is another word for conspiracy theorists here in Australia. We tried to warn you from getting cooked. Kirsten Mag said, Pfizer issues a press release Friday afternoon stating definitively that those things show increased risk of myocarditis and pericarditis, highest risk adolescent males. It's inexcusable that thousands of college kids are still forced to get them with these known risks. That's not the only thing it's doing, apparently. Jack Pozo said RFK Jr. says we must set federal dollars aside for reparations. And look, RFK Jr. is saying this was from years ago, but I don't know. Okay, what does it say? When did he say this? He's announced his run as an independent and has come out in support of giving taxpayer-funded reparations to black people. Joe Biden has largely remained mum on the issue, which has created frustrations for members of the far left. Well, okay, why don't they take the money off BLM and rebuild the infrastructure with that? Okay, because he said they must set federal dollars aside to rebuild black infrastructure, writes Kennedy. Why don't they get all that money off BLM and rebuild the communities that they destroyed? For a start. That's just for a start. I'm trying to close this. My mouse is not... The batteries don't last long. See? Trying to just do that. Blake said, watch, did you know Flexner report how Rockefeller and Carnegie gained total control of the medical industry? Despite the huge amount of money accumulated in the pharma industry, there are more dreadful diseases and sick people today than ever, which I've been saying for a long time. After over 100 years, we must ask the question, what went wrong? You'll find the answers in the Flexner report, a documentation that created and enabled the terms of a centralised medical system and pharma industry to take over control. The pharmaceutical industry and medical system is set up to ensure you're a repeat customer and come back for their products. They work hard to discredit cheap, safe alternatives as it would not benefit their business model. It could be argued that the medical system is the leading cause of death when you consider how we treat other top diseases. According to the present-day consequences of the report, no medical school can be created without the permission of government, and medical research adheres fully to the protocols of scientific research of the 1910s, materialism, medication and vaccination. Small medical schools were either closed or merged into universities financially supported by industrial companies, specifically the medical one. It's important to understand the history of the current system. This is a longer clip, so consider playing it on 1.25 speed or bookmark it for later if you're short on time. Let's go video settings. Let's go 1.25 and let's just pause it for a sec.
In 1907, the AMA, American Medical Association, involved the Carnegie Foundation in elaborating a book-length study of medical education in the United States and Canada, also known as the Carnegie Foundation Bulletin No. 4. The author, Abraham Flexner, was an ambitious educator, neither a physician nor a medical scientist, but the brother of Simon Flexner, employed by the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research. Later on, Abraham Flexner became the first director of the Rockefeller philanthropy programs in medical education. Andrew Carnegie was regarded as the second richest man in history after John D. Rockefeller. While Carnegie played a leading role in the American steel industry and education, Rockefeller was interested in oil industry and medical research. Abraham Flexner's report was published in 1910, and the purpose was to improve the quality of medical service by establishing professional medical education based on mainstream scientific principles. But what was accepted as science in the early 20th century? The theory of materialism, rising in the 17th century, holds that the only existing thing is matter. Everything is composed of material, and all phenomena, including consciousness, human soul and spirit, are the results of material interactions. In other words, matter is the only substance. Scientific materialism, physicalism, became the philosophical position of the early 20th century. The main statement of physicalism is that there are no kinds of things other than physical things. When a hypothesis is repeated long enough, it often becomes a fundamental rule of life. It is assumed to be true. Before the Flexner report was released, twice as many physicians practiced alternative medicine than conventional allopathic medicine, and medical knowledge was taught in small private schools all over the USA. The report changed everything, and backed by the police power of each American state, medical schools were obliged to follow the trend set by the Carnegie Foundation. The human body belongs to the animal world. It is put together of tissues and organs. It grows, reproduces itself, decays, according to general laws. It is liable to attack hostile physical and biological agencies. Herbs, homeopathy, chiropractic and massage were demoted as quackery. Small medical schools were either closed or merged into universities financially supported by industrial companies. In less than 10 years, the number of medical schools dropped from 650 to 50. The number of medical students decreased from 7,500 to 2,500 as they were unable to afford the high education fees. The report included a detailed regulation of medical education and pharmacology as the only solution against dreadful diseases. According to the present-day consequences of the report, no medical school can be created without the permission of government. And medical research adheres fully to the protocols of scientific research. Of the 1910s, materialism, medication and vaccination. Supply of physicians were restricted, incomes of the remaining practitioners raised, and conventional medical schools began to be centralized. In 1997, the WHO obtained full control over medicine as the validity of the Flexner report was extended worldwide. And what was the long-term result of reforming the medical education and practice? Hardly any news in the media. According to the 2003 medical report, Death by Medicine, 783,936 people in the United States die every year from conventional medical mistakes. This is 16,400% of the victims of September 11, 2001, equivalent to 6 jumbo jet crashes a day for an entire year. 106,000 of the nearly 800,000 cases are from prescription drugs. The United States spends $282 billion annually on deaths due to medical mistakes, or iatrogenic deaths. According to a 1995 US iatrogenic report, the annual automobile accident mortality rate is 45,000. On the other hand, annually over 1 million patients get injured in hospitals, and 280,000 of these cases result in death. In 2004, the USA spent $1.4 trillion, 15.5% of the GDP, on healthcare. More than 1/3 was paid to the pharmaceutical industry.
Okay, I won't let the music continue, but I've known for quite a while that the people who teach the medical industry are the people who run the pharmaceutical industries. So I know that this is true. And why would they want to cure you? They would go out of business. They need to make customers. It starts from birth. The Gateway Pundit said exclusive, 13 of 22 Rhino holdouts derailing Jim Jordan are connected to FTX and Votemule donations? All these people voted against Jordan. Don Bacon, Ken Buck, Vern Buchanan, Laurie Chavez. I can't read the last name. Anthony Desposito, Mario Diaz Ballot. Oh, God, I can't read that. Anyway, if you need to, take a screenshot, make it bigger, and you can see it for yourself. Wow. And I just heard that Sydney did not plead guilty to the RICO charges. The media headlines are sensationalised. And misleading. Fannie Willis had to drop that charge entirely, saying Sydney flipped is stupid because she's not bound to testify to anything other than the truth. She didn't agree in a plea deal. She had a conspiracy with the president to unlawfully change the 2020 election, and she doesn't have to testify to that. So, okay, so looks like Sydney did not. It's fake news again. Matt Gaetz said the most popular Republican in Congress was just knifed in an anonymous vote in a secret closed-door meeting in the basement of the Capitol. This is the swamp at work. So, Jim Jordan. Candace Owens said, if you've only experienced world wars through a textbook, you find yourself wondering how on earth they come about. These past 2 weeks have made that clear because virtually everyone in a position of power or influence is an emotionally reactive idiot with the inability to think long-term. They think war is a video game or a high school football match, and they just have to have school spirit to win. That's picking sides, you know. Okay, Colin G. Brown. Okay, let's have a look at Australia. What have they done here? Okay, come on, man. Said, what a mess. Labor have wasted 18 months and hundreds of millions of dollars gibbering about Albo's voice. A disgraceful ignorance of reality and an incompetence this country has never seen. Albo has no idea, and his treasurer has even less idea. They've sat back and watched the economy implode. PM's costly obsession, petrol, in March 2020. Oh, are you sure it was $1.81? I saw it for 99 cents a litre when we were all locked up. I did. I saw 99 cents per litre, okay? But before that it was $1.81. In March 2020, I think these numbers are higher than they should be. Now it's $1.95. Where? Where's it $1.95? Oh my God. Rent from March 2020, $5.20 median price, right? To October 2023 is $6.50. Mortgage in March 2020, if it was $3,206, it's now $4,780 for the average repayment. Electricity went from $1,393 average to $1,827. Don't forget, in 2020, milk was $2.10. Now it's $3.50. Bread was $2.50. Now it's $4. Cheese was $6. Now it's $12. Meats, vegetables, and fruit are through the roof as well. How long will it be before people wake up? Because the prices here in Australia, and I know everywhere, are insane. It's just gone insane. Okay, Stephen Chung said, pathetic, only 328 people watched DeSantis' event on YouTube today. It's getting embarrassing at this point. 328 views. Whoops. Since he started banging on him, Trump turning on him. John Godemsky said, what's to stop a Chinese submarine or three appearing in Darwin port one morning? I don't know how many people know this, but apparently we rent our Darwin port to China. Very smart idea, isn't it? Very, very smart idea. I've got a runny nose, or does it just feel that way? Seth Dillon said yes. James Lindsay, equivalent to 6.7, whatever. Said Greta and Hamas and the trans activists and BLM are all part of the same global revolution. I agree. I do. James Lindsay again said, movies don't just sell them. Lol, what the... Steve Pinker said, should self-driving cars prioritise the safety of passengers over bystanders? They already do. For car makers, it's both an ethical challenge and a marketing dilemma. By my collaborator and former student, Harvard B School Professor Julian De Freitas. And James Lindsay said, maybe just don't sell them. Because they do. If look, rather than hit another car even, self-driving cars will mount the sidewalk to run the people over instead. Okay, JT from, what's her name? Jacinta Price. My mother was given this photo of my grandparents and her big brother over the weekend by a family friend. I love how beautiful my grandmother was and how suave my grandfather looked. Rest of her story, click Alt on the photo. They did look good. Wow. Don't know, you should see him now. Gunther Eagleman said he should. He actually listens to the American people. Congress Andy Ogles said, breaking, hearing Matt Gaetz may run for Speaker. Well, he listens to the American people, as far as we know. A lot of people are saying Trump is going to be temporary. Evie Magazine said, according to the Epoch Times, there's presence of simian virus 40, SV40, a monkey virus in the... Oh, God, I hope not. I don't know. Cat Turd said the Republican Party hates... Maybe they're trying to scare people now. I don't know. I think a lot of things are fear-driven. To make you fear. Cat Turd said the Republican Party hates their voters. Rep. Anna Paulina Luna said, I don't think there's ever been a speaker candidate with this much support from normal Americans. No wonder the Washington Uni Party is so scared. Then we've got Undead FOIA 3.0 said Republicans pounce on checks and wire transfers showing money trail leading to Joe Biden, alleging without evidence that Joe Biden benefited from influence peddling. Oh, really? Without evidence? They've got a lot of evidence, and there's more coming. Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene said Biden-Byberry money trail. On March the 1st, 2018, distressed company Americorps wires $200,000 to James Biden because his last name Biden could open doors to Middle East investment. Same day, Joe Biden received a $200,000 check from James Biden. Here's the evidence. And apparently there's more coming. Yeah, I'd rather like that one than this one. Who is this? Oh, you're right there? We've got a cat. We've got a cat. Now we're at the top of this one. I'm going to go over to my other account. Don't ask me why. I got blocked on one. I made another one, so now I've got two. Now I'll go to my bookmarks. Okay. Jack Pozo said Biden says we have to get over our divisions as his DOJ is throwing a guy in jail for memes.
I know we have our divisions at home. We have to get past them. We can't let petty, partisan, angry politics get in the way of our responsibilities as a great nation. I know we have our divisions at home.
Hello, Spiggles. How you going? So he wants, what a hypocrite. Oh, can you move your bum out of my way, please? Sit, that's a good boy. Liz Krogan said MSNBC's Rachel Maddow had a hysterical meltdown on Wednesday during an appearance on The View over the likely prospect of Donald Trump being elected again in 2024 and claimed he'll put the news station on trial and execute us. Oops, why didn't it click? Trump wants to put MSNBC on trial for treason so that he can execute us, Maddow said. In a True Social post, Trump wrote, they are almost all dishonest and corrupt, but Comcast, with its one-side and vicious coverage by NBC News, in particular MSNBC, often incorrectly referred to as MSDNC, Democrat National Committee, should be investigated for its country-threatening treason. If Maddow and her associates aren't guilty of treason, why is she bugging? I will take it a step further and state that anyone in the media who has covered up sex crimes against children should be charged and prosecuted as accessories to those crimes. The MSN equals the enemy of children. Rain coming. TikTok. And what's this in down the bottom here?
I mean, the Republican Party right now has to make a decision, and it's their decision to make. We have party processes for a reason, but ultimately, if you listen to what Trump is saying, you don't just sort of regard him as a spectacle, but you really listen to what he's saying.
Yeah.
He's basically portraying a future for America if he is put back in the White House in which we don't have another election after that.
That's right.
Because the elections are all rigged, that the democratic process can't be trusted, that Congress should just work for him, the Justice Department should just work for him. That's a strongman form of government. That's not what we have.
He'd cancel the news, like the news are done.
That he wants to put MSNBC on trial for treason so that he can execute us. I mean, this is...
And he will put Rudy Giuliani on the Supreme Court.
If he makes it that long, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it is... that the Republican Party is, if they're going to elevate somebody like that to represent their party in a general election, not only do we have a 50-50 shot of him being back in the White House, any major party nominee has a 50% shot, but the Republican Party will have to reckon with that for till the end of time in terms of what they did to this country.
Wow.
Sorry to make you live through that. Oh, God. Oh, they're insane, The View. I don't like them at all. And Whoopi, like, she can just whoopee off, you know, in the corner there. Okay, we're going down this time. He's in a really awkward spot. Sorry, my cat's really making things difficult for me right now. I've got to reach over him to get the mouse. Can you come this way or go that way, please? Candace, oh, yep, I have read that one. So I put it in there twice. Ariel said, who is in control? They got Dr. Fauci to admit the jab mandates didn't work, self-sabotage. They got Jim Jordan to admit the 5 families control House Republicans, self-sabotage. They got Michael Flynn to denounce Q's self-sabotage mission. They got celebrities to support Palestine. They got Kanye West to denounce and call out Bibi Netanyahu. They got Kevin McCarthy to admit they are COG, continuity of government. They got CNN to call out Joe Biden. They got Mark Hill to call out Israel. People, listen, Donald Trump knows we do not need a Speaker of the House. All they needed was to find out who was making money off these wars, trades and stocks revealed that. Just like ISO 20022 revealed who was money laundering out of Ukraine. They are bleeding them out. This is one reason why the House of Republicans are not supporting Jim Jordan, because none of them can trust one another as long as the motion to vacate is in place. Because when Nancy Pelosi removed it, it gave confidence to these corrupt politicians, Dems and Republicans, that they would never be caught in any schemes, because no one had any power to remove her due to the absence of MTV. MTV, the music? No. Motion to vacate. So now, since that's been reinstated, it brings accountability to Congress. Why do you think it's such a hot topic with Mitch McConnell? Why do you think MTV makes all of them so nervous? Not to mention Nancy Pelosi being kicked out of her office. This was equivalent to a captain being removed from a ship. The crew can manage only for so long without any real direction or compass as to how to steer in the desired direction that doesn't compromise precious cargo that has an allotted time to arrive at a certain destination. Even when it gets there, whatever they had on board is no longer valuable. Time is money, and that's something Washington no longer has. This is how you know we're in devolution. It's interesting, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know. I don't know how Jim Jordan self-sabotaged. I don't know. Or Jim Jordan made them? I don't know. No, they got Jim Jordan to admit the 5 families control the Republicans. Self-sabotage. Okay. Maybe it is to expose more things. Down. Andy No said a mass gathering of pro-Palestinian protesters in Washington, D.C. today after the attempted violent insurrection in the Capitol building earlier in the week. Will they be held accountable? Oh, he's gone. I can move my mouse now. He wants out. Okay, guys, just give me a second. I'm sorry. Cats, mate. Cats. Honestly. Cats. You want out? You want out? Come on. Out you go. That's a good boy. Yes, I talk to my cats like they are human beings. Oh, dear. Yeah, there's a reason I've shared all these now. This is Washington, okay? I'll let you know as we go on. Letitia James comes on X every single day and posts a video talking about Trump and his family and calls them criminals, even though he isn't a criminal. This isn't a criminal trial and nothing happens. Donald Trump calls a clerk Schumer's girlfriend in a post and the judge is threatening to throw him in jail. This isn't a trial, it's a witch hunt. So Letitia James is allowed to post videos talking about Trump and family and calling them criminals, but Trump calls someone's girlfriend and they want to throw him in jail. Well, okay, Attorney General Andrew Bailey said, breaking, the United States Supreme Court has granted cert in our free speech case, Missouri versus Biden. We look forward to dismantling Joe Biden's vast censorship enterprise at the nation's highest court. Good luck with that, and I hope they win. Cat Turd said they're tired from working 10 days in the last 2 months. Lauren Boebert said no way should members go home without a speaker. That was 4 hours ago. So we'll see what happens. We're still ongoing. Doc, or DOQ, Eyes on Il Donaldo Trumpo said, we don't need a speaker, we need a list. And we got it. They got the list of the traitors. Alexandria Lavoie said, here in Montreal, outside Premier Legault's office, the pro-Gaza crowd accuses Trudeau, Biden and Legault of genocide. The megaphone features an Antifa logo. What do you know? This is what I think is going to happen. Like Antifa and people that are associated and the bad people they're letting into the country. Because I don't think a lot of these are actually from the countries they are. They're like an Antifa move around the world, I think. I don't know. Or they break off and parts go here and there. Anyway, so there's Montreal, okay? Pro-Palestine demonstrators have breached the White House lawn. This was 1 hour ago. Okay. Maya Towsey said the enemy is here and it is here to hurt us. Visegrad 24 said breaking, anti-Israeli protesters block the Limehouse Link tunnel which connects the city to Canary Wharf and London Airport. It's located in Tower Hamlets, one of the most dangerous areas of London. You guys can let me know. Those of you who are near there can let me know. And this is what I think is going to wake the rest of the people up. And I believe everyone should be staying. So I'm not saying this is not happening, right? I'm saying everyone keep yourself safe. Rebel News, Avi Yamini said breaking, a ton of rockets coming out of Gaza right now as the IDF prepares to begin its ground incursion to take out Hamas. Okay. I think they're cleaning it out. That's what it looks like to me. Israel last. They're cleaning it out. Dave Rubin said, first they chop your wiener off and then they chop your head off. End wokeness. A man in a dress led a massive protest with Palestine in DC today. Who wants to tell them that there's a problem? You can be a man in a dress. You can stand for Palestine. But God help you if you ever run into that, like, you know, need to live among them, because they won't put up with that. Karima, sad, lawyer. Okay, protesters exercising their freedom of expression, try preventing a counter-protester from doing the same. A few individuals blocking him are familiar from Toronto's protest circuit, meaning they showed up at rallies for various causes. Antifa. They try to shut the other guy up by standing in front of him with their signs. Yeah, these are Antifa. You know them by the masks and the clothing and stuff that they wear, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, maybe all these people who are going to start trying to riot in our countries are going to be... We were told this was going to happen. Once they start to panic, they're going to start to strike back. The Empire strikes back. Joey Manarino said a massive thanks to Matt Gaetz for doing this motion to vacate. The last 2 weeks have reminded us beyond any shadow of a doubt how much the establishment of our own party absolutely hate us. It's so important to remember that the only people who are actually going to save us in this country are ourselves, we the people. Yep, contact your local representatives and state representatives and let them know you're not happy, if you're not happy. LBRY said methane is an unstable gas which oxidises quickly in the atmosphere. It occupies less than 2 parts per million of the atmosphere and its absorption bands almost completely overlap with H2O. Even a very large increase in methane would have net zero impact on climate, because they're trying now to say methane is 80 times more potent in trapping heat than CO2, says one of our stupid politicians. Experts aren't the experts anymore, if they ever were. They're talking heads for the people who have interests, vested interests. Dane said mass rioting continues in Berlin in support of Palestine. The rioters throw explosives at cops. You got Radio Genoa, thousands of illegal immigrants in Greece shouting Allah Akbar. These are the same people who celebrated the massacre of Islamic terrorists, Hamas in Israel. Look, regardless of whether what's going on is going on or not, I believe these things are going on. People are standing up in countries that, mainly in the West, yeah. Charlie Kirk said UC Davis Professor Gemma De Cristo is threatening to hunt down Jewish journalists in their home, using knife, axe and blood emojis, talking about their addresses being public. Yeah, that is, I don't care what side you're on, you should not be doing that. Yeah, terrorist. She sounds like a terrorist. Donald J. Trump posts from his Truth Social. I think that's what it means. New York State AG Letitia James, who sued me on a statute. That's why it was not when I was talking to you the other day about, I think it was the trial by jury. Who sued Donald Trump on a statute never used before for such a case, had a bad day with the rigged trial going on in Lower Manhattan. Her appraiser witness was a disaster on the stand, and her ridiculous valuations were shown to be incorrect without even discussing the $18 million value as she ascribes to Mar-a-Lago. This trial is a giant Democrat scam with Trump developer hating judge who does whatever Letitia demands. He is totally afraid of her, but fortunately has been overturned on many occasions by the Court of Appeals, including in our case, which decision he refuses to even acknowledge. Showing great respect to the appellate court, businesses are watching this witch hunt trial and moving out of New York and definitely not moving in. And that was from one of his Truth Social posts on the 19th of this month. What is wrong with my mouse? Okay. Oh, I just read that. Hello. Nick Sortos said, just in, Kevin McCarthy screamed at Matt Gaetz to sit down when he grabbed a microphone to speak to the Republican conference this morning, according to Axios. You sit down, Kevin. You've been fired. The people are behind Rep. Matt Gaetz. We're sure as hell not going to sit down. Keep standing up for us, Matt. Yeah, Kevin McCarthy's, yeah, he should sit down. He's been fired. Clown World said China's selling our debt quickly and it's accelerating. Everyone seems to be selling US Treasury debt and it's driving up interest rates and mortgage rates. Meanwhile, we have $33.6 trillion in debt and it's growing at over $2 trillion per year, and the only way to get people to buy it is for rates to go higher to attract new investors. Eventually, the Fed will have to turn back on the digital printers and buy our national debt, Treasury bonds, in order to keep interest rates from going to 10%. Can you imagine mortgage rates at 10%? They're already at 8% right now, but if the Fed prints trillions of dollars, then inflation will soar again. Wall Street Silver said Putin recently visited Xi, or whatever his name is, in China. The next day, Taiwanese stocks were slammed. Today we got the figures, and the Chinese have been on an unprecedented US Treasury selling spree. Wow. Last month they sold the largest chunk of US Treasury debt and stocks in the last 4 years. Do you see what I do? Do you think the risks are adequately priced? Doesn't look good. Yeah, that's a sign of something big going on when they start doing that. Okay, I've got a cat one. He wants out, then he wants back in. Out, in, out, in. James Woods said under Joe Biden's rule, Americans are no longer safe anywhere in the world, and of course they are already unsafe in any major city at home. Elections have consequences. Travel, State Department. Worldwide caution. Due to increased tensions in various locations around the world, the potential for terrorist attacks, demonstrations or violent actions against US citizens and interests, the Department of State Department advises US citizens overseas to exercise increased caution. Yep. More at travel.state.gov/content/travel. So there we go. I think something's about to happen. What do you reckon? VB said, while our Congress is bickering about votes and playing power games in the real world, hundreds of thousands of Lebanese heading towards the US Embassy in Beirut. So there you go. I think that's all of the news for today, is it? I'm pretty sure I already read that one. Yep. That's exactly it. So, guys, okay. Let's go here. God, that's bright. At least I put the camera right next to the light, so now when I look at the light, it looks like I'm looking at the camera. David said, g'day Heather and your gloomy sky in the west this morning. Oh, thank you, Alex, for putting all the links in there. Oops, now let me chat to jump. Okay, back. And also, there was something else. Dr. What's his name? Dr. Epstein. Is his name Robert Epstein? Anyway, they've given Google a CEO a letter. I believe there's hearings going on because Google looks like one of the biggest selection interferers that there are. They had, it looks like they've been fiddling with things they shouldn't have been, but which we already know from Twitter and stuff like that. But Epstein, how Google could rig the election. 2016, 2020. No, 2020. Yeah, 2016 that one said. How Google could rig the election in 2016. They weren't expecting Trump to win. Then there was another. Okay, Epstein. Google and big tech can shift millions of votes in any direction. So there you go. There's that as well. Okay, where are we? What is people saying in the comments? Deb said Adelaide's very moist today. Alex said loving the natural curls. Yes, this is my hair normally, okay? This is very curly. I've got some product in there to make sure it stays like the wet look, I suppose. Raoul said, hi there, Hev, looking lovely today with your beautiful curls. Oh, thank you, guys. God love you. Maria. Oh, my, Hev Livestream. I'm normally asleep. Lol, blessings from England. How you going, guys? Alex said, I've had things turn up broken. I think they use fragile as an excuse to chuck it. Yeah. Oh, these postal workers, seriously. I don't know if that was Australia Post. I'm going to have to let this cat in again. She's driving me nuts. He's going to drive me nuts. Right, you little munchkin. Hev the doorman. Or doorwoman. Just say doorman, who cares? You okay there? You come to join me and report the news with me? We're going to read the comments together? Are we? Oh. Okay, Sherry said, hey all, boy, is everything going crazy right now? I think we're at the precipice. I hate to see it get much worse. Hey, oh shoot, you nearly fell off. What are you doing? You just want some attention. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alex said, hey Sherry, I know what you mean. I don't think we've seen anything yet. And John said, whoop, made it. How you going, John? And Maria and Rails and all these people I haven't seen for ages. What are you doing there, mate? Don't knock everything off my table, please. Okay, Deb said, I'm sick of being called uneducated because we vote no by the losers. Yeah, don't worry about them. It's like being called racist these days. It's like the word's not meaning much anymore, you know, like bigot and racist and this and that. And it's like, oh, mate, come on. Alex said, I keep getting buffering. Anyone else? Oh, it's buffering. Maybe I played something I shouldn't have. Alex said, I'm sure the tables will turn soon. They'll be running to people like us for answers, Deb. Keck Rangel, how you going? Frog magic, they can't stop us. Sherry said, no buffering here, Alex, and I have a crappy phone. Okay, so maybe just certain areas. Keck said, greetings. We will be keeping you up. Alex said, seems okay now, but I had to click 2 times speed as now 2 minutes behind, lol. Maria said, Simone, I'm in Essex, sorry for the late reply. I had to wait for rock pause to give keyboard back. Yeah, it's like me, my cat's laying on my keyboard now, so if I have to type anything, I have to chuck him off. Keck said, greetings Maria, it's working, I must see of the last streams going, be right back. Sherry said, hello Keck, still no news of Juliet, a bit worried about her. Judy said, money laundering. Out to lunch said, I'm here tonight. And I want to thank, I don't know who it was it Donna? For sending me money through Stripe. Thank you. I really appreciate that, whoever that was, thank you. Alex said, I don't think any charity money goes to the charities. That's what, look, they can't do an investigation into what's going on. They'd rather throw money at it. That tells me that they're just money laundering. It's going to go back to the special interests, not the people. So anyone, like even the Aboriginal people who may have voted yes thinking that it was going to help them in some way, it'll never get to you. It'll always go to them and they'll just pocket it. We live on, the whole world runs on money laundering. And who can pay people more for the favours, and it's just BS. Out to lunch said, hey all you beautiful peeps. Simone said, Maria, cool. Nice to see you. We were flooded in here today. Miss Storm Babbitt filled our rivers. Is that over in the UK? Keck said, yeah, Sherry, she said she did have cancer. It was 1 year since I last seen her. Judy said, hey Debs, nice to see you. Keck said, be right back. I have to see what is going on back in England for 1 minute. Be right back. Okay. Alex said, does anyone remember all the Red Cross boxes full of cash? Or they all seem like fronts for cash laundering and other dodgy stuff. I believe that's correct. Out to lunch said, I need a misogyny. My back hurts. Why no misogyny? I need one. Deb said, great to see you, you too, Judy. Maria said, oh, Simone, we have had heavy rain on and off for 5 days now, but no flooding. Hope everything's okay with you. Out to lunch said, need females to do it though. What misogyny? A misogyny? A misogyny? Simone said, Maria, yes, just couldn't get too car for art. MJ said, whoever smelt it, dealt it, including throwing out racist boom back on you, feeding my face, starving hungry. Hey everyone, hey MJ, how you doing? Maria said, Sir Keck, had to have a link to get the show. YouTube's not showing Hev for him. Oh, really? Wow. Out to lunch said, blessings to you all. I'm blessed. I would share my blessings with you if I could. And Alex said, you too, Judy. Seems like we have a 4-day week now. Friday comes by so quickly. Keck said, Hev, you are blocked in America and I'm linked in now. Really? Wow. Simone said, Troken. Maria said, did you see Biden's chin mask fall? Yes, I reported on that the other day. Simone said, Trojan horse, these fighting age men being set up and maybe... I think, did that cut off there? Keck said, maybe they are lizards after all. Judy said, funny, nice to laugh. Laugh on myself then, Alex, thank you. Simone said, maybe it's all for this current Middle East situation. Well, the whole thing's been, cleaned up. And they said Israel last. So, yeah, maybe that's what we're seeing. They're cleaning the whole kind of area out. Alex said, even if that isn't a mask, what the heck is going on with his skin? Exactly. Out to lunch said, I'm going to hit my groceries. Keck said, I'm going to see if I'm still on the sub list. Be right back. Hey, Assassino, how you doing? Sherry said, I'm in America, Keck. I'm not blocked. Good. Oh, thank God for that. I was starting to worry there. Deb said, I can't read it, Hev, and you are on my TV. Really? Was it that bad? God, my phone keeps going off. I'm going to have to turn notifications for everything off. MJ said, Darren, you in here? It is the morrow. We are here. Keck said, trying to get so wrapped up in the juice, they did a lot of all this to us. Biden funded the Himitsu. Yeah. Well, he gave, it equaled at least $9 billion that he gave to Iran in the end. And he gave $8 million to Israel. So, oh, wow. Maria said, I've been unsubbed from 3 of my favourite channels in the last week. Yeah, that's YouTube for you. They do that. So check that you're subbed, guys. Out to lunch said, not blocked in northeast Mississippi. Thank God for that. Keck said, worrying more about the WF and that queuing Charles. Lol. Owing Charles? I don't know. Oh, the King? Charles. Alex said, I heard they have been finding weapons, including grenades, in these young men's camps in the UK. Not sure how true, but very scary if it is. I just say be aware. Eyes open. If you see something, say something. Report it. That's all you can do. Simone said, no rockets were fired whilst Biden was visiting Israel. Right. Yeah, exactly. Out to lunch said, bad guys will give you the view of the tallest building for free. Keck said, out to lunch, I'll see if I see it yet. Be right back. Simone said, Alex Defo will find out they outnumber army ×3 now. Alex said, government never refunds people's money. That's long gone. MJ said they love loopholes. Loopholes everywhere. What about an EV fire fund? Lol, via local firefighters. They're going to need one the way those things are going. And I believe most of them... What the hell? I wasn't even holding that thing down. And that just stayed lit. Okay. Just chalk it up to another weird thing that happens today. Out to lunch said, Keck Rangel, you are a tree frog or a pond frog? Alex said, I know it's worrying, especially so many people are blind to it, Simone. Shannon, g'day from the Riverlands, South Australia. How you going, Shannon? Yep, watch my cup of tea there, mate. Simone said, Alex, sometimes it'd be nice to be asleep, right? Skipping along, no worries. It can be exhausting and sometimes... Shannon said, driving to Whyalla for Auntie's 90th birthday, waiting for a ferry. Oh, have fun. Keck Rangel said, I'm the angel of Keck, like the one on the wall in Egypt from the Ogdude? Not they are more than frogs. Simone said, and a yo-yo, Alex, to keep putting shelf back to calm. Keck said, I was unsubbed, Hev. Oh, no. Alex said, hey, Shannon, happy 90th to your auntie. Hope she's enjoying her day. Definitely. If you make it to 90, you're doing well. Out to lunch said, Keck, I understand that. Maria said, it's not black infrastructure that needs repairing, it's American infrastructure. Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, in the areas that, you know, where Black Lives Matter went in and destroyed, like, everyone's business, black people's business, white people's businesses. The two young black ladies that were saying to the white Antifa person or white BLM person that, hey, you are destroying our neighbourhood, please leave, go away, we don't need your help. I don't know if you remember that, that was quite a while ago. Yeah, but I agree. Out to lunch said, yes, please tell Auntie happy birthday. Everyone's saying happy birthday to Auntie. David says, sickness management, the medical system brought to you by Rockefeller. Alex said, I have thought that a few times. If I could just go back to sleep, then I remember we're here to witness these amazing times for a reason. It'll be worth it. Out to lunch said, brought to you by Pfizer. MJ said, Hev, your hair looks lovely. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I didn't do anything. I just showered and sort of scrunched and left, and this is how it is, and my hair naturally. Most of the time I try to style it somehow, but yeah, it doesn't always work out. One side curls down, the other side curls up, and it just looks, I should just leave it now. Alex said, healed people are lost customers, exactly. So when was the last time a doctor actually didn't just treat you, but cured you from something? We'll be waiting forever. Because they don't really. And cancer only goes into remission. It's never really cured. It can always come back. So they don't really cure that either. They don't cure a lot of things. They just keep customers. And I believe it's from birth, with the things that they do with babies in the hospital before they even get home. And that's where I think the SIDS came from. Out to lunch said, trust the science. Keck said, hey, Maria and I are going to go see to other matters and we'll be back. Yep, no problem, Keck Rangel and Maria. Out to lunch said, no money in a cure and no money with peace. Yeah, war's a racket. Simone said, Alex, I'm with eyes on how it's going down on another threat to behead one of our local shop assistants last week is bonkers. Hey, Sheila, how you going? Deb said, is Gates following the plan? I don't know. I'm wasting more gas lighting that and burning my nose at the same time. MJ said, where would we be if they ever got a hold of us? Yeah, we'd all be in camps. MJ said, that is a lot of sick people made. Sheila said, have Monkey Works showed footage from the hospital bombing? They actually hit a parking lot. Yes, they didn't actually hit the hospital. Deb said, my God, I think it's been going on a long time. Death by doctor. Maria said, oh, G2G, I'm too sleepy, but I've got to go. But I will watch tomorrow. No worries, Maria. Have a good one. Have a good sleep. Alex said, that's horrific. I really hope they are okay. It shouldn't be happening, but we know there's an agenda with all of this. God is with us always. Out to lunch said, Maria, sweet dreams. And Maria said, have a great evening and great weekend, everyone. Blessings from Essex. Everyone's wishing Maria sweet dreams. Good night. Out to lunch said, reports the bombing made the Bodie blow to the roof of hospital. Deb said, yes, 99 cents in lockdown. Yes, and wasn't that around March 2020? Was it? Pardon me. Or was that 2019 maybe? Maybe that was 2019 we got locked down. Oh, I'm sure it was beginning of 2020. Out to lunch said, body or bodies blown to the roof? Oh, Sherry said it's $1.95 on the moon maybe Hev. Yep, it's not up here where I am. It's over $2 a litre for everything, even the cheaper one. Deb said, yes, we filled up at 195.9. Really? Ours is over $2 here. Sorry, I have a squeaky chair. It's really bad. The minute I put my arm on the arm of the chair, it squeaks. Sheila said, good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Deb said 328 views. Yeah, for, I mean, I'd be doing well if I had 328 views. But, for someone like Ron DeSantis, you think it'd be a lot more. Deb said China has its own port in Australia. Sorry, can't remember where. I'm pretty sure it's Darwin. Alex said prices are getting ridiculous, but we know why they're doing it, so we end up begging them for help so they can save the day. No thanks, they can keep the bugs. Alex said those self-driving vehicles are lethal. MJ said, when you know what was made to go in those containers, it's freaking terrifying to know that ports. Yep. That's the problem. Oh, it's gone out again. Okay. Out to lunch today. If we all quit driving, probably less than a couple of days, prices would fall because it's sale and demand, right? Supply and demand, yep. Alex said, I won't be following any of their guidelines. MJ said, I don't know when you wise up to their tactics, they pull a Lahaina or what's going on now. And Deb said, cat's bottom. MJ said, chin balls. Deb said, bald, chinian. Alex said, Biden's a meme himself. He literally wears a nappy diaper, leader of the free world. Yeah, the leader of the free world is a potato. He's as good as putting a potato in front of the camera, really. Actually, a potato's probably better. They don't talk. Davis said, if the hypocrisy doesn't wake people up, I think they must be comatose, not just asleep. And Davis said, without the corporate MSM, nothing happening now would ever have happened. MJ said, her neck, man, huge. Out to lunch said, so Rachel Mad Cow was finally speaking truth? Yep. MJ said, we saw your boot, Rachel. Another one with a cam boot on. Check all the people out with cam boots on over the last few years. Deb said they dribble on a lot about the American TV people. That's all that comes out of their mouth, dribble. David Morgan said, if that's the one, I'll eat my hat. Out to lunch said the poo. Sherry said, those witches are scared. Deb said, I too love your hair too. Oh, God love you. Alex said, too many people buried in their games, consoles and the metaverse. MJ said, the spew bunch, twitches. Oh. Out to lunch said, MJ, so true. Alex said, that's a man. MJ said, Alex, did you see the guy asking for a gamer? Was it a gamer? To pass on a message to his wife? He was in a game playing. Did you see it? Like friggin' Tron. Maybe they be real. Oh, yeah, they do. They use games to get messages to each other. That was known a few years ago. I can't remember which game it was. But they'd get like on a Sony PlayStation or an Xbox and they would message each other in the game. And that's how they communicated. Can't remember which game it was. Davis said, I guess we lost them then, Alex. They plugged into the mainframe of their own choice. We tried to warn them. Sigh, it's not our fault that they failed the intelligence test. MJ said, people cannot even handle a rotary right now. It's an IQ test roundabout. Sherry said, they can't have a war or draft anyone if there is no speaker. Ooh, that's interesting. Deb said, 9:15 a.m. Adelaide's still a little moist and windy. Alex said, no, I've not seen that. I've seen people in the same room talking to each other via their phones, though. People are hypnotised and under the spell. And the people I'm talking about who did that through the gaming, the messaging, was people like Hillary Clinton. That type of people. They were communicating through games. Deb said, all thanks to Biden. MJ said, Alex, it freaked me out because it would make sense that Dwarf machine. Tron is a warning, they are doing it. Out to lunch said, roundabouts confuse me a little, but as long as you don't get in my way, we're great. Thanks for playing. Well, here in Australia, you just got to watch for whoever's on your right. You sort of got to watch the left as well, because sometimes they try and sneak out when you go. But yeah, you normally watch from, if no one's coming from the right, you are free to go. and then just be cautious of other people trying to enter, because some people don't know that you have to look right in Australia and they just go anyway. I don't know why, but because our roundabouts go clockwise. Okay. Alex said, yeah, I know people are willingly up for transferring their consciousness and also giving their metadata away for $70. I don't even know if they know what they're doing, David. Really? Out to lunch said, Deb, China, Joe, more like it, right? Deb said, my flag would say no to all war. Yeah, I'm not in favour of anyone hurting anyone, and I just think, you know. And we don't know, because look, both sides have been funded by the government, US government, and probably our governments too. I'm pretty sure our governments have given money to them as well. Alex said, I think a lot of these people sound cool to some people, but people are literally giving away their DNA, data, facial features forever, and a small print says they keep it even after people die. MJ said, I say we use Luna's idea and go to their coffee shops and give them some special chocolate. Laxatives. David said, I don't think they can know what they are doing, or they certainly wouldn't do that, would they? Insanity makes no sense to me. Out to lunch said, engines that run on water would lower carbon, right? Alex said, they always tell us what's going on. I just wish more people saw it. MJ said, me too. Deb said, yes, Alex, so true. David said, only emission from hydrogen-powered combustion is water. Out to lunch, but that would starve the vegetation of already carbon-deficient diet. Well, don't worry, I can burn wood heater and give the plants some carbon up here, when it's cold, that is. Alex said, and would be stinky couple of days for the rest of us though, MJ. Alex said, yes, quite, the world's insane, all right. MJ said, oh, wouldn't it be awesome if those dang dumbasses run for the toilets at the same times? Sorry, but it gives me a giggle. Oh, dear. It would be funny. Okay, now I've got to go back. Go way back, actually, because I was way back in the comments. Oh, my goodness, I was way, way back in the comments. Okay, David said only emission from... Oh, yeah, I read that one. Okay, David said they're putting the ultra idiocracy in our faces to wake people up, but why isn't it working? Some people are dead asleep, man. I don't know, they're sleepwalking through life. They must be, not paying attention at all. Hey, Menacing Muskrat, how you going? MJ said we can block all restrooms, saying no masks or dumb hats, say cheese for the camera, or shit yourself. Deb said forward, hey, Menacing. MJ said sorry, getting goofy. That's okay, I'm goofy a lot too. Alex said I'm sure that's a film, Idiocracy, life imitating art. Oh, they knew what was coming. They were showing us what was coming through that movie, and oh, mate, seriously, it's a good movie well, if people would watch it and wake up, it would be a good movie. Menacing Muskrat said lots happening, eh? Oh yeah. And Davis said it is Alex takeaway line. Plants crave electrolytes. They just didn't realise plants needed water too. Alex said it's good to be goofy, better than being miserable. There's plenty of that already in the world. Yep, well, I'm laughing my way through whatever's going on, or trying to anyway. Everyone's saying hello, Mr. Smiggles, kitty break. MJ said get a kitty button that speaks, lol, mum, let me in, give me treats, I want your tea. Deb said I have my beautiful cat Sooty on my lap. Randy Ditches, how you going? Well, crud, I'm about an hour late, no buffering issues here. Alex said, well, words always lose their meaning after a while. Some of the slang today is beyond me. Yeah. Like I don't know, people are walking around going delulu now, saying that instead of delusional. Why don't they know how to spell the word? I don't know. I'm like, it's like a craze taking over. Like one person said it, everyone's starting to say it, you know. It's like, I don't know. Where did it come from? Alex said it was buffering for a bit, but it's been fine since. David said it's deliberate, Alex. They want people to not know the meanings of words. Unfortunately, appears to be working. Menacing Muskrat said, Albert Butler fires are watching this guy's neck. That ain't human. Randy Ditches said, Deb and MJ, the little rose falling over. Alex said, yes, looks like Black's Law book, David. David said, got Black's Law right here in-house, Alex. Alex said, awesome, would love that book. So many things in there. Again, I wish more people knew, as they wouldn't do half the stuff they do. David said, over $300 AU for the standard edition, over $400 for the deluxe, if I remember rightly. MJ said, is it not on the internet? It should be. Alex said, yeah, they don't want people getting their hands on it. MJ said, is it on a scribe? Alex said, the law book, MJ. MJ said, yep. Deb said, I prefer Stripe, it's Australia. David says, seems to be the case with that one, Alex, although I was pleasantly surprised to acquire the complete Oxford English Dictionary for only $60 AU. Wow, that's good. Deb said, I've made goulash for dinner. Oh, yum. I made bread rolls from scratch last night with KFC style chicken and mashed potatoes and corn. And it was bloody beautiful. MJ said, yum, that was awesomeness. Alex said, there are versions of it, I think. Good call. I will check that out. Would love a hard copy of it too, MJ. MJ said, Hev, you got powers. Oh, yeah, the lighter that wouldn't turn itself off. I don't know. I'm going to set my face on fire. Oh. No, thank God I didn't set my face on fire. Deb said, yes, MJ, I was thinking the same thing. MJ said, definitely, Alex, I love having my books. No power loss stops me from reading. Tactile. I'm about saving money. Thrift books used to be great, but now it's competition for the info. Pricey, pricey. Alex said, sometimes I don't know if I trust online, as it may have been altered, but they are changing loads of old children's books now, like Roald Dahl and Edith Blyton, so like old copies of stuff. Yeah, I prefer old copies of books. I cleaned my house out one day and threw all my... You should have seen I had a great book collection. Mainly fiction, though, but still a good book collection. Alex said, that's awesome, David Morgan. David said, second-hand bookstores can be a treasure trove too, Alex. G said, well said, Hev. Deb said, love books. Alex said, I know, reminds me of the old book burning. Glad there are still old books left, but I think they're trying to change that too. They don't want people knowing the real past. MJ said, everyone has been touched by cancer. Everyone has lost people to it. That is, when that is out, all those children and families need not have lost people. It will be over on top of HIV AIDS. Yep, exactly. Deb said, you have a cat hair on your face and then light up a ciggy, you'd feel it. I have a cat hair on my lip right now. Oh, it's gone out. Look, it's telling me don't smoke anymore. It's gone out. It just keeps going out. Yeah, if I had enough cat hair on my face and tried to light up a ciggy, it'd probably all sizzle and catch on fire. Alex said, funny how it's 1 in 2 people now, hey? Should have cured it by now, which we know people have, but they ended up getting killed for it. No money in the cure. Yeah, well, like I said before, I remember in the 90s, right, when I had my children... and they were really young, you know, and I was watching the news and things, and you'd see they found a cure for skin cancer. It'll be out in 5 years. 5 years later, you're still waiting. 10 years later, you're still waiting. They always give you these little hope, this little bit of hope, and then it never eventuates, you know, it never comes through. So, yeah. David said, I've got old books from my father's collection, Alex, including a couple of classics printed when Queen Victoria was still on the throne. Alex said, oh, wow, they are to be treasured. Bet there's a lot of information in them, David. Pat said, the medical profession started out as witch doctors, nothing changed. They still point the bone and tell you you're sick. Alex said, like with the old book burning and them changing the children's books now, we're witnessing history being changed in front of our eyes. No surprise, things aren't what they seem. MJ said, it's Mr. Chinnigan, the twice-stuffed potato head. Yeah, Mr. Chinnigan. Beginnigan. David said, I noticed one called Man in the Universe in there yesterday, Alex. I think it's by Sir Walter Scott. Got Pilgrim's Progress by John... Where'd that go? It's disappeared on me. Hang on, I've got to go back. Where is it? Oh my goodness. Okay, got... Is it Pilgrim's Progress by John Bunyan, Lawns, Dune and all that period stuff? Timmy, how you going? Good to see ya. Pat said hi, Alex, Deb, David, everyone. Everyone's saying hello. Timmy! Timmy in the house. Deb said, anything to have a look at the other way with the corrupt American? Deb said, when are you getting our favourite on for a talk? I've got to arrange Wheezy too. Timmy, I don't know if we could do it on YouTube because it's a lot of medical stuff, so it may have to be like a Rumble only thing until YouTube opens itself up. Unless people talk again, we can't do it on there. Deb's song for today, Timmy said, hey now, lol, already bashing doctors. Yeah, not you, Timmy. You're the only doctor I trust. I don't trust any other doctor. I have to ask Timmy even before I go and see my doctor because I don't trust them. MJ said, song, woo, woo. Timmy says, Sis is very connected to the you-know-what. Yeah, that's what I think. I really do. From the time we're born and what they give to children, you know, it starts it all off. And then as they get more, they get sicker and sicker. And look at the rates even of child leukemia and child cancers and brain cancer and everything, diabetes, epilepsy, you name it. All these new diseases they're finding that are caused by the very thing that they do in the first place. Alex said you should do a video looking through it. That sounds interesting. I wonder what they said about the universe back then. In 1918, they used to teach the world was flat. 102-year-old woman said, Alex said, David, last message for you. Couldn't fit your name. Oh, the last message was for you, yeah. So, David, you should do a video looking through it. MJ said, Deb, song ideas? Alex said, does anyone remember the AIDS blood transfusion back in the 90s? Yep, MJ said, yes, Alex. Alex said, I think they did it on purpose, knowing the blood was contaminated. I think people are still suffering now if they are still here. David said, lol, Alex, some people still believe in Discworld, it seems. MJ said, huge scandal in Massachusetts, New England, too recently with pharmacy, it never ends. Well, wasn't a Pfizer factory hit by a tornado? I'm sure I showed that yesterday on the stream. Deb said, yes, my bestie was given blood, then had to keep getting tested for it. She was lucky she didn't get it. Alex said, shocking, Big Pharma and all they've done, everything they can do to make people sick. Fact, not all doctors, obviously, makes me so sad that people could be so happy and healthy. Yeah, it just, when you wake up and you start to realise, it's like, you kind of don't want to go, and not Timmy, just you know, other than Timmy, not want to go to the doctor. But I've got Timmy, I can message him or, you know, speak to him, and even before I go to the doctor. So that, I appreciate Timmy as a doctor. He is a doctor, but he's awake, okay, so he knows. Alex said, makes me sad that people are kept sick just to make money. Deb said, I didn't realise Timmy is a doctor. Yes, he is. Alex said, oh no, I hope your friend's okay. How scary, Deb. Deb said, I'm so blessed to find a... Oh, good. You got a good doctor? Look, they are out there. I do generalise, and I don't mean all doctors when I say that. There are some good doctors out there. It's just a matter of trying to find them. Really. Menacing Muskrat said, I haven't watched this video yet, but heard it's quite good. What is it? Anyway, there's a link there. Alex said, I believe there's a firmament, David. And Alex said, cool, thanks, Menacing Muskrat. David said, of course, Alex, one beneath, one above. But the above is not up in the sky. Is that what it says? It's behind that little heart thing. I can't read it. Up in the sky. Yeah, it is. Okay, guys. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. I've got to arrange some people and see if we can do a stream with someone else. We might do one with Wheezy on YouTube because he, you know, that's fine to talk to Wheezy on YouTube. But Timmy, I think if I had Timmy on, we'd have to do it on Rumble for now. So if me and Timmy did a video on medical stuff, it'd have to go on Rumble, and then later on, if YouTube ever opens back up, then do it on YouTube. Okay, guys, well, I'm going to leave it there for today, and I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow. If I don't come back live, I will definitely make a video if I've got something to talk about. I'm sure I've got something to talk about. The Rumble video on the Red Rooms. Keep an eye out for that. Okay, guys, I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and I will talk to you soon. Much love, guys. See you next time. Bye.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling. I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going live. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. Back a year ago.